Hey, my name is Alasdair Cunningham. Welcome to Feature Fridays. Feature Fridays is all about asking Q&A to successful business entrepreneurs. These are the questions that I know you want to know and I know will help you. So let's get straight into it and meet our first guest. Hey guys, I'm Alasdair Cunningham and yes, I'm the first guest. Now the question is, what motivated me every morning? I've spoken about this in many videos that I've done. My biggest motivation is my family, my two girls in particular. I want to make sure they know that when you work hard and smart, you can leave a legacy. I do everything for my children and I literally, it's like most people watching this, your children, your family are everything. And for me, that's what motivates me. Okay, you know, I went through quite a dark period of my life when I come out of a failed business, and that business left me best part of £67,000 overdrawn, and I owed money to literally loads of people, and it sent me into a bit of a dark depression. And what motivated me to keep going and what got me out of it, you know, it was just I come back to the kids, I come back to my children, like why am I doing what I'm doing? Honestly, I was at a point where I was ready to give up. I was ready to go back and get a job. I was mid-30s, unemployed, unemployable, and in a situation where I couldn't actually even see forward. I couldn't see through the mist, through the dust, because it was just not settled yet, and I couldn't see the woods for the trees, so to speak. And what got me out of it? Sheer determination. That determination that entrepreneurs have to just make things happen. And I become relentless. I decided that I'm not going to let sort of depression and anxiety control what I do, and I decided enough's enough, I'm going to take control of that. And I replaced, every time I felt down, I replaced that with motivation. So I used to watch lots of motivational videos to help me get out of that, and that meant I took serious action. And the thing is, when you start taking serious action, you start getting serious results. That will soon get you out of any depression you're in. Results will help you get out of whatever depression, whatever anxiety, whatever down period you're in. So that's what I've done. I took serious action, motivated by my children. Listen, I've got multiple businesses, and the money comes from different income streams. So at the minute I've got 7 income streams, and that's a mixture of property investment, it's a mixture of an active property business. I'm a consultant, so I do consultancy. I've got my books, I've got this, I've got investments. So I've got multiple income streams coming from literally all over the place. And as a result, that means that if one of them income streams dries up, I'm not going to be without. So even like during COVID, many people lost their jobs. I'm sure some people watching this maybe lost your jobs. Now, yes, some of my income got a little bit harder during COVID, but actually some of my other income made more money. So it sort of evened itself out. I actually made more money during the COVID period than I did in the previous 2 years before that. And that come mainly from property and also buy, refurbish, refinance. I do a strategy called buy, refurb, refinance. That's where you buy a house for one price, you uplift the value, and you then sell it or you refinance it and you take out the profit. I done one of them deals over lockdown and I made £120,000 in profit. That deal was an amazing deal. Actually, do you know what? You can go ahead and you can watch it just up there. Okay, so I currently have multiple investments. Property is the main one, but I also do a little bit of investment in cryptocurrencies, also a little bit of gold, and I've got an investment in another business. So I've got multiple investments going on at the minute, mainly property, but I've got crypto, gold, and another business at the minute. Work-life balance. That's always a tricky one with an entrepreneur because, you know, work is everything, okay? Work. However, I am very aware of having personal time and having time where you just switch off. So just a couple of weeks ago, I went karting. So I do kart racing. So I went karting and I've done some motorsport, and that's one of my things that I do probably 5 or 6 times a year. I go racing for the weekend. From Thursday till Sunday night, I go racing, switch off, don't worry about work, and just do that. I also play poker. So I play poker in casinos. I go and play poker tournaments. I also go to Las Vegas and play poker now and again. Not for monetary gain, just because I love the game. And if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. It's not a big deal. Okay, challenges. In business, it's about, you know, keeping on top of the game, because it's an ever-evolving marketplace. So you've always got to keep on top of the game, and that's a challenge in itself. Just keeping up with the latest trends, the latest things, the latest movements. Okay, even things like marketing tips and tricks. Keeping up with that, what's actually working now, what's not working. In business, keeping up with business. I've had quite a few challenges in the past with joint venture partners where the sort of relationships have gone a bit sour, and yeah, I've learned some big lessons from that. One of the big lessons is I wouldn't opt to having a business partner, because I've been burnt by that, and it was nobody's fault. It didn't work how it was supposed to work. So yeah, a big challenge, business partners, and also keeping up with the daily trends and what's going on in business. In my personal life is, I guess, working that work-life balance, because it's difficult to keep a balance of work and personal, and I've sort of succumbed to that, and accepted that sometimes you just have to work, but also sometimes you've got to sacrifice. So yeah, hope that helps. How did I get that idea to start my business? You know, when I was working as a commercial vehicle mechanic, I didn't want to earn £400 for the rest of my life. I wanted to make money, so I was already doing the job. I was passionate about it. I loved it, but I knew you could make more money, so I just went out and done it. Now, if you're watching this thinking, I've got no ideas, I can't think about business, I can't think about how I'm going to do this, I would urge you, do something you're passionate about. Something you know about and you're passionate about, and if you can monetize that, then give it everything you've got and be relentless until you get there. But don't focus on too many things, focus on one thing and do it well. Okay, great question. How did I get the funds to start my business? Listen, I started my first business with £443 in my bank. Okay, I didn't really need much startup capital apart from maybe for a few business cards and a few flyers, and I just used the money I had, and I've done it all as cheap as possible. Listen, you can start a business with very little money. It just will take you longer to get where you're going. I didn't have a big budget to start with. I had literally a couple of £100, but I still had bills to pay. So it's a case of, as you make money, you reinvest, and you just do that slowly and slowly over time. Like I say, my business didn't require lots of startup. However, when I went from being a van-based mechanic to a garage-based mechanic, I needed to borrow some money. So I actually had to take out a £10,000 loan for a car to get my business off the ground. I didn't tell them it was for business, because if I tell them it's for business, I've then got to give them business plans and I've got to have business meetings, and it just doesn't work. Okay, I applied for a loan as a car, so I wanted to get a car with it, and instead of buying a car, I put it into the business. Happy days, I went on to make lots of money, and the loan got paid back a lot quicker. What would I do different if I could do it all over again? Do you know what? I'm going to say nothing, because I believe everything happens for a reason. I really do. I believe that I was in the right place at the right time. I believe I took the right action at the right time. I believe I made the right decisions at the right time that suited me at the time. Whether the right decision, now looking back, probably they weren't. But at the time, I'd done what I thought was well, okay? So to answer that question, it's a little bit of a deep question, that one. What would I do differently? I'm going to say nothing, because that's my stubbornness coming out, saying no, I've done everything right at the right time. But I've got a very different mindset now than I did, say, 5 years ago and 10 years ago. I would get educated a lot quicker. I was very naive to education when it comes to business. I was like, I don't need a mentor, I don't need to get trained. I know it, it's easy, it's just business. So that's the only thing I would say. Make sure you're getting mentored, make sure you're getting trained, and do that as soon as you can. Daily habits to help me succeed. I have a routine. I have a good routine. So in the mornings I'm up by sort of 6:30, and I go through my emails, I do what I've got to do. I then have a little bit of, I don't necessarily write things down, but I always have a moment every day where I'm grateful for what I've done the previous day, and I'm grateful for what I've got in my life at the minute. And I continually take action. So every day I do something that I don't normally do, or something that I don't want to do. It might be that I'm a little bit tired one day and I don't want to do a video, so I make sure I do a video. Even if I don't post it, I just do it, just so I know I've done it. So I take action every day. I do something every day that's going to help me move forward in my business. The freedom. It's the freedom of choice. It's not even the money, it's the freedom of choice. It's the freedom that I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. You know, just this morning, I booked a 4-day holiday going away next week. I didn't have to ask my boss for that. I didn't have to ask anybody for that. I didn't have to consult anybody. I just went online and I booked it literally last night. It took me 10 minutes. And it's the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. The reality is this, I could run my business, my property businesses from anywhere in the world. That's the reality. So I could go anywhere in the world for 3-4 months and it would still be there making money. Now, that's what I love business about. That's why I love business. I love that about business because I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's a great question. Coming up with new ideas, you know, I'm always watching what other people are doing, competitors and also new people coming into the business. I'm always watching what they're up to and what's moving in the markets, what new ideas are coming out. I'm always prepared to pivot my business and move in a direction that's more suitable to where I'm at. So how do I come up with new ideas? I'm always watching. A good friend of mine, and he was actually on a podcast a few weeks ago, you can watch that by clicking up here, is a guy called Matt Sims, and he said always look up. So on that note, I'm going to say, as Matt said, always look up. Okay, this is monetary. So most satisfying moment in business was that time when I hit the 100 grand. So when I saw on a regular basis £100,000 in my bank. Because bearing in mind, I'd gone through all my life with never having more than £1,000 in my bank. And I remember when I was growing up, I was in my mid to late 20s, and it's like, I just want to have 100 grand in the bank, 100 grand, I really want to get to 100 grand. And I remember I'd done it, and I'd done it a few years back, and it was like, yeah, it's pretty cool, 100 grand in the bank. It's not actually that exciting, because it's just money. But it was a big thing for me. It was a big thing for me having that £100,000 in the bank and knowing that I could literally buy, like I could go and invest in property. If I wanted to go away, I could do this. If I wanted to spend 10 grand, I could. And it was just having that was like a success moment for me. Like being able to look at my bank and say, look, I've done that. I've generated £100,000 and it's through fair value and fair exchange. One of my mentors says, always be in fair exchange. It's a guy called Mac Attram, he says always be in fair exchange. And I know that if I've got money in the bank, that sort of level of money in the bank, that means I've had to give somebody a fair exchange of value to get that. And for me, that was a big moment. Get mentored, do it now. If you wait, you wait. But if you wait, you're slowing your success down, I guarantee it. I waited for years before I got mentored, and then I got mentored, and guess what? Boom, skyrocketed. 2, take action. Whatever that mentor tells you, do it. Even if you don't agree with it, do it. Get it done. Done is the new perfect. 3 is believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. 4 is be relentless. Be absolutely relentless until the point you need to want this like you want oxygen. And if you're not relentless, if you're going to quit at the first hurdle, quit now. Because you ain't going to get there. And 5, remember to have a personal life. Have a private life. Have time when you switch off. I didn't, and I wish I did. But have time where you can just go, okay, I'm going to have 2 hours now where it's non-business and I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I'm going to enjoy the freedom to do that because my business provides that. That's the 5 things I would say. Hey, listen, man, if you want to get connected with me and do some training with me, I run an event called the Business Launchpad. Listen, if you want to get registered, just go up there, click on that link, get registered. It's £1, come and spend a day with me. I'm going to show you how I started my businesses, and I'm going to talk to you about the 5 key elements of business that you need to know if you want to grow your business. You can email me, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all social media platforms. All of the links are going to be in the description. Guys, my name's Alasdair Cunningham. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.